Yet again, another mystery storyline is starting up, so we'll see what's being said about that. We'll also see what's going on with Royce Keys, MFT, and more. Starting things off with this new mystery angle. A large majority of fans are really fed up with mystery angles right now, especially because several of the prior mysteries were never fully resolved. So they just keep stacking mysteries on top of mysteries just to draw people in, but they haven't really cared to properly finish all of the others that they have going on at the moment. It's pretty insane to think about, but we never received confirmation about who attacked Jacob backstage in late 2025. At first, that appeared to be a big mystery angle, an angle that mirrored the 2024 storyline with Jade Cargill. So everyone was expecting that type of reveal with the Jacob backstage attack. Maybe it was a deep rival, or maybe the attack came from a friend. There was so much intrigue there with that storyline, but Jacob came back and we never got a locked-in reveal for who attacked him. All we got was Jacob assuming it was Drew, but he had no proof to back it up. And Drew never owned up to it and has seriously denied it every single time it gets brought up. So that leaves us wondering who attacked Jacob, and they just never properly wrapped that storyline up with a proper reveal for who's responsible. Which makes it seem like they never really had any direction in mind for that storyline. They just did that to Jacob to write him off television and never meant for it to lead to a reveal. And that's the type of stuff that's frustrating for viewers. You're thinking this is a big mystery angle where they have everything mapped out and they know where they're going with it, but it really seems like they never really had any idea what they were doing with the Jacob attacker storyline. And that's why it was pretty much dropped and left ambiguous. Jacob assumes Drew attacked him, but we never got confirmation about that, leaving the Jacob attacker mystery incomplete and not properly resolved. Similar idea for the Jay attacker. Jay was mysteriously attacked right before Elimination Chamber, which costed him his spot in that match. It gets everyone buzzing about who attacked Jay, but then once again, we don't get any confirmation or a reveal. It was just implied that it was the Vision, but never actually confirmed. So they left that one unresolved as well. And that's why fans are starting to turn their backs on mystery angles, because they get you buzzing about something in particular, but then drop it and never talk about it again. So it's really unpredictable to know when they're going through with a mystery angle, or when it's going to be one of those stories that get dropped and left in limbo. You just never know which way this regime is going with any given storyline mystery. But there were two new mysteries introduced on April 10th. The first one being one we covered a few days ago, and that's the entire mystery that somebody on the TKO board is protecting Pat. Will they pay that off with the reveal of who that TKO individual is? It's possible that they can make that reveal, but it's also possible that they'll never talk about it again and leave that in limbo. Both routes are possible. But the second mystery involves Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. During several of the backstage segments surrounding the Undisputed title storyline, Aleister Black can be seen in the background. During the opening segment with Cody, Nick Aldis, and Jelly Roll, a man can be seen way off in the distance, pacing around, potentially being on the phone. Although the man was deep out of the focus of the camera, fans believe that was Aleister Black. Aleister Black would then appear in several more backstage segments surrounding the entire Randy, Cody, and Pat storyline. He had a cameo appearance with Zelina as they watched Pat and Randy get into their truck with the Undisputed title. So is Aleister Black some type of watcher here? Is he a type of spy for somebody? Because we see him start off the night on the phone, and as the night goes on, he's fully observing everything going on with Pat, Randy, and Cody. So it makes you wonder if Aleister Black is doing that under his own free will, or if someone put him up to it. Obviously, we don't know the answer to that yet, and we don't even know if this angle is going anywhere at all. Over the last few years, putting ambiguous things in the background of other segments has been this regime's specialty. Sometimes it actually pays off, like with Finn and Roxanne's background segments. But there's been a lot of instances too where all this ambiguous backstage moments lead to absolutely nothing as well. So that now applies to this new mystery with Aleister Black. Maybe there is a legitimate storyline in mind for him that these segments are hinting at. Or it's definitely possible that his cameo appearances mean absolutely nothing and they just put him in the background to feature him on the show and keep people talking about him since they had nothing else for him to do. So Aleister Black is hovering over the Randy and Cody storyline, but it's still too early to tell if his appearances actually mean anything yet. And it's not like Aleister Black is going to be the Backlash opponent for either Randy or Cody, because Randy and Cody are reportedly going to be involved in a tag team match with Pat and Jelly Roll at Backlash. So Aleister is most likely not getting a shot at the Undisputed title at that event. So it's possible that the Aleister Black payoff doesn't even happen until after Backlash. Considering the company's poor usage of mystery angles in recent memory, That's why fans aren't really putting a lot of stock into this Aleister Black mystery. That mystery angle is really going to have to show us something and really advance before fans will take it very seriously. So definitely keep an eye on Aleister Black, and let's see if this mystery angle has an actual direction this time around. It might have taken 4 months, but the television debut of Royce Keys has finally happened. Royce Keys made his official debut as a shocking moment back in January for the Royal Rumble event. A lot of fans were expecting to see Royce Keys on the main television product that same week back in January, but it never happened. Reports started going around that the company currently had no plans for Royce Keys, and fans were stunned that they brought him in for the Royal Rumble, trying to chase that viral shocking moment and then just tossed him to the side after it was over. But finally, just this week on April 10th, Royce Keys made his official debut as a member of the Smackdown roster. And he also made his Smackdown debut in his hometown as well, so that made the moment extra special. Royce Keys picked up a quick win over Berto, and his night actually didn't end there. As Royce Keys was getting interviewed after his match, he got approached by Solo Sikoa. Solo tells Royce Keys about how he runs SmackDown and how he ever needs anything to come see him about it. Although it wasn't flat out said there in that moment, the implication appears to be that Solo Sikoa wouldn't mind adding Royce Keys to MFT. That's why Solo kept it very respectful with his conversation with Royce Keys. Solo definitely had that recruitment tone in his voice. Solo clearly acknowledges the strength and power that Royce Keys brings to the table, and Solo wants that on his side. Although they may stretch it out and have Solo try and sweeten the deal to Royce Keys, it seems extremely unlikely that Royce Keys will join MFT. MFT already has 5 members, so adding a 6th member can really start to make the faction feel a bit overcrowded, and Royce Keys can potentially get lost in the shuffle, since there'll be just too many members in the group. So maybe they'll flirt with the concept and idea of Royce Keys joining MFT, but it doesn't seem like they'll pull the trigger on the idea because it just wouldn't work. It seems more likely that this moment was meant to set up Solo Sikoa as a potential big rival for Royce Keys in the near future. Maybe that relationship does initially start off friendly, but once Royce Keys starts turning down several of the things Solo is offering him, that's when the relationship could take a turn for the worse there. And that's when we could see Solo send the entirety of the MFT at Royce Keys, and that does have the potential to be a big moment of seeing Royce Keys run through all of the members of MFT, maybe even have a big stare down with Tala Tonga as well. But it's great to see Royce Keys finally on television, a brand new face to the television product on SmackDown, and a lot of fans are excited to see what gets done with him. For the time being, it appears that a big program with Solo Sikoa and MFT is the largest possibility. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.